Hi, welcome to Budget with a July Dreamer. My name is Miranda, and on this channel, I share everything personal finance. I cover budgeting, saving, and investing. If these topics are of interest to you, then please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into today's video. So I do have my trusted laptop here with me where I will be walking you guys through my budget for October, how much I brought in, where I spent that money, and all of that good jazz. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. If you're interested in the template that I'm using, it's one that I sell myself on my Etsy shop. It's always linked in the description bar below. So without further ado, I'm going to just turn over and also maybe move my camera a little bit this way. And then I'm going to start my screen record, and we can start talking about this money. So for the month of October, actually, let me bring it back here so you focus on me. So for the month of October, I thought I was going to bring in 6,300. I ended up bringing in over 12,000 pounds, which is obviously almost double what I thought I was going to bring in. All of that good jazz. And I had to actually do a calculation and remove the money from my savings, because I always track money from my savings that I use that month as income. So I had to remove that, and also I had to remove the buffer because this is money from the previous month. In any case, if I do that, I brought in just under 8,000 pounds, and it's still a really good income, right? It's really a good income, and I've left out all of the sources on where all of that money came from. So if we now move over and start looking at my main bills first of all, my main bills, not a lot changed here. I think everything that I had planned happened as I had planned it. The only thing you have here in red is my Peloton, because with my Peloton, I restarted it in October. Is it October? No, September. I restarted in September, and it's in red because this was something new at the time. I had already shared my September budget and was yet to do a recap. So when I was preparing my October budget, I thought I highlight that this is something that was back. Then I grayed out YouTube Premium, which you won't see moving forward. I said in my September update that I decided to actually go ahead and get this subscription. So my phone provider, my line rental provider, offered me 3 months to use YouTube Premium for free. Loved it. I have, I think, 3 or 4 YouTube channels, one for myself for this business, and then the other ones where I just watch whatever I want to watch. And I love on my main channel on Budget with a July Dreamer just having premium membership. There are no ads. I just love that. But for the other ones, I'm okay with the ads because I like that interruption. It's time for me to get up, do something. But so yeah, but this is just to say that it's grayed out because I thought they would charge me separately. They told me the amount of how much they would charge me, but it turns out it's being combined. So the service I'm getting from Vodafone is I'm getting internet from them for my home. I have my mobile line rental, I have landline, which obviously I haven't hooked up and I never use. So, and now YouTube Premium, and they bill that as one. So you will see I have a line item here for Vodafone. So instead of having YouTube Premium separately, it will be included in that package, which is fine by me. And then I also noticed that Plum, I use the Plum app to help me save money and invest. I noticed that on the 31st of October, they did not actually take the fee that I pay, which is £2.99 every single month. So I just grayed that out. But on the 1st of November, that came through. So I'm still tracking it as November as opposed to October. In the past, I would have put it October because, you know, they were just a day late. But to be honest, it messes with my numbers sometimes. So I'm just keeping it with November. So I thought I was going to spend just over 1,600, and I spent just about what I budgeted, which is great. When it comes to my rental bills, everything in red is either new or I need to make a point about it. So buildings and contents insurance for my third rental property, I got this back in September, but we didn't set everything up until way into October. So I got charged for the September and for the October, and this is why I was thinking it would start in October and they would charge me 37, but they ended up charging me double that, and this is why it is in red, because it's 73 pounds 68 pence. Then home care, again, third rental property needs its own home care because there's a boiler in there and I need it to be serviced and all of that good jazz. That came to 17 pounds. Well, I budgeted 17 and it's actually 16.63. And then the final one is gas check. So for the third rental property, the gas engineer, part of the home care package, went to do their first visit. For the first visit, everything should be fine. But they found that there was some parts that were missing in the boiler, so they decided that they asked me if I wanted to have that fixed. I'm like, yeah, of course. I wouldn't want to wait for the next service for them to tell me that, oh, this is needing fixing. But if this was a second visit, then this would have been free, but because it was the first visit where the boiler was supposed to be in tip-top condition, they charged me 50 pounds. This is why I grayed out, because I never budgeted for it, and in red because it's a new item. And I wanted to make a point about that. So budgeted over 1,800 and I spent just under 1,900 on my rental properties. And I shared a video recently to talking about how much I make from my 3 rental properties. I'll link it below and maybe in the cards if I remember. But yeah, so this is how I did when it came to my rental properties. So now I'm just gonna move over to variable expenses, because I said, no, I didn't say for this video, because the first part that I started, I said that I spent over 3,000 pounds and I can't really tell like where that 3,000 pounds is, in all honesty, but let's go through it. So tithe and giving, I'm a Christian, I believe in giving, so this makes me happy when I can give to others, maybe the church, maybe my community, maybe those in need. Doesn't really matter, I just love to give. So we did pretty well there. I thought I was going to be able to at least give to 50. I was able to give just under 290, which is great. Groceries, I reduced my budget to 170 because I now have a food box, and I'm thinking one of the weeks a month I can actually just eat the food from the food box, which I have done. Unfortunately for me, I also went on a wellness journey, which requires me to eat a lot healthier than I have been. And who knew that healthy food was expensive? Like, yes. So we're going back to my 200-pound budget. I have to stick to that. I mean, to be honest, it's only the 2nd of November, and I feel like I'm going to blow my budget for November. So watch this space. Subscriptions, I over budgeted actually. For I thought my wine subscription was coming out in October, but it's actually November. So I have under budgeted in November and over budgeted in. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. It's, you know, I've been budgeting for years, but this is not to say that I'm an expert or that I don't make mistakes with my budgeting, but that's okay. It's important that I observe them and correct them for the next time. So we're going to correct it for December, because November, we'll just wing it. Okay, we'll just wing it for November. Social, I socialized a little bit too hard and I overspent. Fuel, surprisingly, I didn't. And this is all part of the wellness journey where I am walking more. My friends have been laughing it out because I refuse to walk. Like, I got shops near my house. Like, I would drive. It's 2 minutes. I'll still drive. Like, it's crazy. But now I am embracing the walking, except it's raining right now. Bad, and I'm supposed to go for a walk, so that's not happening, but we shall see. I'll walk up and down the stairs. We'll see. But yeah, dining out, I dined a little bit too much as well, but I had fun. That is what is important. So yeah, and then travel. If you haven't seen my November reset, go check that out. I came back from Amsterdam last weekend and I'm due to travel again this weekend, but that's for November. So I ended up spending over 700 pounds because your girl did the most. Amsterdam was lit, we had fun, and yeah. Shopping, I overspent, but just by 10 pounds, which is not bad. Transportation, this one, don't even know what to say, but yes, overspent on this one by almost 30 pounds. Housing was just all over the place. There were so many things I bought for my home that brought this. And today, again, the 2nd of November, and I have already blown my budget for November because I bought a cleaner for my new bathroom, and a sonic brush, and just a whole other bunch of stuff. So yeah, we're already over the budget. Personal care, this one you can't even tell me nothing, because personal care is personal. It's important for me to look after myself, and I did that. So I am not mad that I spent almost 200 pounds on myself. That's fine. Personal growth, I didn't spend anything because I didn't. Coffee, we are still under 25 pounds, even though I budgeted more because of the activities that I had. But yeah, so spent 22 pounds. Food box, the one I talked about, I budgeted 30 because that's what it used to be, but then they messaged me to say that there are some new charges towards delivery. So because of that, we have to pay a little bit more, which is quite annoying, but it's fine. I've adjusted that for November's budget. Miscellaneous, let's not even talk about it because I don't even know. Gifts, under budget, which is fine. Business, spent way too much, way too much, and it's all because of this YouTube channel. I spend way too much, so we're going to see if this is worth doing. And then my accountant, my taxes for 2022 to 2023 tax year were filed, and my accountant charged me 540 pounds to do it. I think this was a bit too much. I was expecting it to be between 200 to 300 pounds because that is what I remember being in the contract. And then I went back and I read the fine print. Every single time you ask a question, it's a charge, especially if they have to work on that more than 30 minutes. And I asked a lot of questions. So yeah, 540 pounds is what I spent. So that's where the over 3,000 pounds comes from. And life, let's just leave it at that, because I can't continue beating myself up about this. Anyway, so now I'm going to move over to savings and investments. So I have a SIP, which is a self-invested personal pension. I have an ISA, which is an individual savings account. These are two tax-efficient vehicles post-tax that we have in the UK. There are plenty other types of ISAs, but you know, ISA and the SIP are one of the most tax advantage brokerage accounts that we can have here in the UK. I'm sure there are more, but I'm not aware of them. I only know these two. So I invest in those two. And then I have the Plum app, which I use for saving and investing. So what I'm tracking under here is what it's saving for me. I don't know of that portion that it's saved for me, how much it's sending towards my investments. And I mean, I know how much it's sending towards my savings, but to my investments, whatever. And then for my emergency fund, I really prioritized my emergency fund, only for that tax bill to come through and I had to eat from. So mad, but here we are. But I was able to send a good chunk, over 1,000 pounds. I haven't been able to save that amount of money for a while now, so it was really good that I really pushed myself to be able to save that amount of money. So I'm happy about that. Sinking fund, I was able to send 110. Rental fund, I sent 150 and had to immediately use it because life. So I saved and invested just under 1,900. Then when it comes to debt, I do have a couple of debts. So for my personal loan, I wasn't able to send the 700 pounds that I normally do. I just paid the minimum amount that was expected. And then for the mortgage advance, again, this one I really should update my template because it's still written as 350, but this was when I actually got it. But then since then the interest rates have gone up, so this has changed. So yeah. And then for my mobile handset, I always pay a little bit extra, and I was able to do that. Then I added this credit card line item because of August. And check out my other videos to understand why August. Check out my August recap. It explains a lot more. And then for my November budgeting, I shared why I added Klarna. But yeah, so I also sent over 1,000 pounds, just so under 1,200 is how much I spent with there. And then if you look at my expenses, so this is how I track, and then the template populates, but this just shows you everything that I spent on and all of that good jazz. But yeah, this is how I've been able to have over 2,600 still left from the income of over £12,000 that I brought in. But nothing too exciting, if I'm honest, when it comes to my October budget. But I am glad that I spent the time, I had a look at it, and you guys should see this video on a Sunday. I will be traveling then, but I'm pre-filming this so that I can have all the content ready for you guys. But do let me know in the comments how your month of October went. Did you go over budget? All of that good jazz. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you in my next one.